Vladimir Putin's story begins in the cramped communal apartments of post-war Leningrad, a city scarred by war and hardship. Born in 1952 to working-class parents, Putin grew up in an environment defined by scarcity and survival. As a boy, he learned to fight in the tough courtyards, understanding early that strength, real or perceived, was essential. Martial arts, especially judo, became his discipline and strategy, shaping his approach to power. Inspired by Soviet spy tales, Putin set his sights on the KGB, the ultimate symbol of state authority. Advised to study law, he enrolled at Leningrad State University, not out of passion, but as a calculated step toward his goal. He kept a low profile, steering clear of dissident circles and focused on international law to align with KGB interests. In 1975, his ambition was realized. The KGB recruited him. Putin had mastered the system, moving from the rough streets of Leningrad to the heart of Soviet power. His journey from scrappy youth to secret agent had begun. Putin's KGB career took him to Dresden, East Germany, a backwater far from the center of power. There, he witnessed the Soviet Empire's decline firsthand, especially during the chaos of the Berlin Wall's fall. The silence from Moscow as crowds threatened the KGB office left a lasting mark. He saw how quickly power could vanish. Returning to Leningrad in 1990, Putin pivoted to politics, becoming an aide to Mayor Anatoly Sobchak. He built a reputation as a discreet, effective operator, navigating the turbulent world of post-Soviet Russia. When Sobchak lost office, Putin's loyalty earned him a move to Moscow and a role in Yeltsin's administration. His rise was swift, from deputy to FSB chief, then, in 1999, to prime minister. On New Year's Eve, Yeltsin resigned, making Putin acting president. In less than a decade, Putin had moved from the shadows to the pinnacle of Russian power. The stage was set for a new era. As president, Putin inherited a fractured Russia, economically battered, politically unstable, and diminished on the world stage. He crushed separatists in Chechnya, projecting strength and restoring order, which won public support. Putin centralized authority, curbing the power of regional governors and oligarchs, most notably with the arrest of Yukos oil chief Mikhail Khodorkovsky. High oil prices fueled economic recovery, stabilizing the country and improving living standards. In exchange for stability and prosperity, Russians accepted limits on political freedoms. The state tightened its grip on media and opposition, creating a managed democracy. Tragedies like the Kursk submarine disaster and Beslan siege were met with secrecy and control. By 2008, Putin had restored national pride, but at the cost of genuine political competition. Russia was stable, but democracy was hollowed out. Putin's system was firmly in place. Barred from a third term, Putin installed Dmitry Medvedev as president in 2008, while he became prime minister. The tandem preserved Putin's dominance. Medvedev's reforms were limited, and Putin remained the true power. The 2008 war with Georgia underscored his control over foreign policy. In 2011, Putin announced his return to the presidency, sparking mass protests over the orchestrated power swap. The government responded with crackdowns, new restrictions on protests, and laws targeting NGOs. Putin's third term marked a shift more conservative, nationalistic, and anti-Western. He positioned himself as the defender of Russian values against foreign influence. The social contract was breaking. Many Russians no longer traded rights for stability. Putin's grip tightened as dissent was suppressed. Russia entered a new, more authoritarian phase. Putin's return brought a more aggressive foreign policy and deeper repression at home. The 2014 annexation of Crimea was a turning point wildly popular in Russia, condemned abroad. The Kremlin backed separatists in eastern Ukraine, while dissent at home was crushed. Most notably, opposition leader Alexei Navalny was jailed. The state tightened control over media and the internet, eliminating political alternatives. In 2022, Putin launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, shattering Europe's security order and triggering unprecedented sanctions. The war caused immense suffering and deepened Russia's isolation. Supporters hail Putin as Russia's savior. Critics see an autocrat who crushed democracy and led the country into conflict. His rule has reshaped Russia and altered the course of the 21st century. Putin's legacy is fiercely debated, but his impact is undeniable. Russia and the world will long feel the consequences of his reign.